Are you not too close to me? Now you're too close. Okay. What's going on, my babes? Today we're talking about training differences between male and female. There seems to be a lot of confusion regarding that topic, especially among gym bros. They're not sure if a girl should be training or lifting as heavy as a guy, if a guy should be lifting as heavy as a girl. So today we're gonna clear up that confusion. So let's talk about it. All right, so today I have an assistant helping me. Hello, Diana.
Oh, hi.
A guy. Let's see what he's gonna do. We got squats. Can anyone spot the difference between these two individuals in terms of the exercise selection? No? Rightfully so, because truly there is no difference in terms of exercise selection when it comes to female and male. The difference lies in what the goals of the individual are. So sometimes girls tend to be more focused on achieving a more lean and petite figure, and guys tend to be focused mainly on getting bigger and getting stronger. So the exercise selection has to be reflective of their goals and what they want to achieve in terms of their body composition or performance. So that's where the differences lie. There are not that many differences in terms of exercise selection, frequency, volume between male and female. I wanted to have Diana here in this conversation, even though she doesn't want to be filmed because she's not wearing makeup. But Dani owns a women's only gym in Australia called Base Body Babes, and she's had that gym for about 7 years, and they specialize in training, in strength training for females, which I think is really cool because it provides a comfortable and safe environment for girls to get into weight training. So I just wanted her to hop in and explain more or less what their training approach is when it comes to girls, females.
Hi, Stefi. Thanks for having me here. Look, we take the same training approach as you do, you know. Our babes don't have much experience when they come to us in the gym, but we always focus on the main lifts like a squat, a deadlift, an overhead press. So, just like you.
I think one of the things that really makes it difficult for girls to get into these movements is the feeling intimidated of the weight room and not having enough experience or not being ever introduced to these movements. And so having an environment like that's welcoming for girls to get introduced to these movements is always amazing. Without any further ado, let's get deeper into the trenches of this video. Do women need to train differently than men? This is a question that comes up a lot of the time, so today I'm going to dedicate this video to answer that question. In episode number 4 of Hybrid Unlimited, I sit down with Molly Galbraith, who is the owner of Girls Gone Strong, and she's been looking deep into what strength training for women looks like. So we talked about some similarities and some differences between women and men when it comes to strength training. She referenced a meta-analysis that was performed by Greg NUCKOLS that revealed some really surprising data. So let's go over those results first. Before we begin, remember that a meta-analysis is essentially a study of studies. It pulls the results of many different studies into a single large study. Any random effects or biases presented in one study shouldn't affect the final results too much. So through the magic of a statistical model, we put a bunch of individual study data and out pops a summarized result that gives us more statistical power and more confidence in the results. The results for this one were somewhat surprising. It turns out that, according to the data, women gain relative strength and muscle mass at rates virtually identical to men. Women sometimes seem to gain relative strength faster than men. Some of this effect could be explained by the fact that untrained women in these studies were relatively less trained than similarly untrained men. The term untrained doesn't necessarily mean that everyone starts at the same baseline, but women in studies might have less sports experience, and traditionally, women's sports don't involve the same amount of upper body work. So at the start of training, they had more room to gain relative strength, especially in their upper bodies. However, from strength sport competition data, it does seem that very highly trained women seem to continue to gain strength deeper into their training careers, closing the gap on similar competitive men. At the moment, we do not have a good understanding of this possible female enhanced strength development, in fact, but what we do have is another example of where science challenges conventional wisdom. This above data suggests that not only do women not need remedial strength programs, but they might respond to identical strength programs better than men in many cases. But women are not identical to men, so let's talk about how they're different. If most differences can be explained by differences in body weight and lean mass, then what is actually important? There are a few things that make women different than men. First, women generally can do more reps at a given percentage of 1 RM, all other things being equal. Number 2, women often recover from equivalent training faster than men, which may be related to point 1. It also may be related to the fact that a higher estrogen level can protect against muscle damage. Number 3, women seem not to gain the same amount of muscle in response to light load training. Again, this might be related to a higher percentage of oxidative fibers or some differences in muscle recruitment. At low loads, it becomes tough to fatigue the large hypertrophy sensitive non-oxidative fibers if you have to do so much work with oxidative fibers. And finally, women have a menstrual cycle. There is a lot of conflicting data on menstruation in training. Some evidence suggests that training can be enhanced if synchronized with menstrual cycle phases. But the problem here is that different women have very different experiences with their cycles. There is so much variation between women that these within group differences are more meaningful than changes over the cycle. Once you know yourself as an athlete, the menstrual cycle is more or less likely to be particularly important. If it is, we can use how we feel on any given day during the cycle to regulate our training. If we know how well or how we will feel on a given day, we can plan our training accordingly. The current best recommendations regarding training through the cycle are individualized, as where a woman is in her cycle could be one of many things that have the potential to influence training on any given day. Women are not a different species than men, but women are also not just small men. Most of the people who exercise happen to have 2 X chromosomes, but there is a gap in understanding how a woman responds to training. Whether you're a female or you train females, or maybe you just know a female or 2, it's important to consider how gender might or might not influence training. The good news is, despite relatively small differences, the fundamentals of strength training are essentially the same. Women may not be small men, but we are people too, and we deserve confidence through strength. Hope that all made sense to you. If you liked the video, click the like button. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you really like this video, then maybe head over to the hybridperformance.com website and snag a strength training program. Whether you're a female, or you're a male, or you're somewhere in between, or you're something else, we have a strength training program for you that you will love and you'll get results from. If you haven't done so, make sure to check out our Hybrid Unlimited podcast that I referenced at the beginning of this video. We have a ton of amazing episodes up there, close to 10 I think so far, and they're really cool, really interesting. We talk about so many different things, not only in the health and fitness arena, but all sorts of other things. So make sure to check that out. Also, if you're looking for fitness apparel, the sickest one in the game, the one with the most swagger, the one with the most style, the one that will give you the most confidence when you wear it, head over to hybridapparel.store to get the sickest fitness apparel in the motherfucking game. Which, by the way, by the time you see this, hey, do we have next month, are we dropping the shorts? In a few weeks, the shorts, sickest shorts you'll ever own. Designed by yours truly. So, head over to the page and snag a pair. Alright, I'm not selling anything else, but if you really liked everything, then make sure to subscribe to all the things that I mentioned and do all the things I said, alright? And if you have questions, always drop them down below in the comment section. I'll make sure to try to answer every single one of you, alright? Peace.